We are back on LR Live today with something a little bit different. Now we have got ourselves an ARB Flinders tent. It's a rooftop tent, but what we've done is we've mounted it to a vehicle that's not a Land Rover, so avert your eyes from the vehicle, concentrate on the tent. Let me show you how we fitted it and just what we think of it. So I've had a little delve into the tent itself. Now what I've done is I've actually put it on upside down. The reason for that is because you've got to mount the fitting plates onto the base of the actual tent itself. Once you've done that, you can flip the roof over and you can actually mount it to the rails. And basically you've got two of those. You can see here, that's the rail itself. There's two of these that go onto the base here, and on this tent they're going to go the length of the vehicle, and that's so that then the clamps are going to be set into the top here that are going to clamp around the bar. So we'll get those fitted first. One thing you're going to have to do is dig deep into this tent to find the fitting kit, which just took me about 10 minutes because the bag is the same colour as the inside of the tent. So it's really hard to find, but you can fumble about a bit and find it, but it's in there anyway. From the inside, we'll run these bolts and get them to drop into this channel here, and then the nut will slide in. So I'll do a close-up of this, but basically bolt goes in there, but it will sit into this nut that will be captive in the channel. So I've got Steve over the other side this time because I can't do it on my own. It's quite nice that the mattress is velcroed in place, so that's good, but I've loosened it for now. Right, there's one. Next one. Right, great. So we've got the bolts in place there and at the back. We're going to slide these in now. One in. Oh, now how tight is that? Should it be as tight as that? We're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and take some meat off using this method. It's not ideal, is it, really, when, you know, you're expecting it all to fit, but at the end of the day, it's one of them. It's not the most expensive roof tent in the market, but it's up there, so it ought to be right. We'll see if this makes a difference, which it should. Okay, so that's the gap. Look, can you see the difference between, it's very difficult to show you, but there's a little gap there in the middle, and that's how much meat I've got to take off each side. So it's not a small amount, so I'm surprised that they've even gone through quality control like that, but we'll see. Okay, we have finally managed to file all these little plates down, and you can see now they slide in a treat. Now, to be fair, there's not a lot of movement in there. I had to take about 1 mil off each side of that, so that's really disappointing, but they fit now, so we can crack on with the final parts of getting the tent fitted. The bolt is the piece that goes in the top of the plate, and that will then slide neatly into there, no problem at all. You can see there, they sit either side. So all we have to do now is put the retaining plate on there, a washer, a nut on each one, and it's solid as a rock. Okay, so we are pretty much done now. All we've got to do is mount the ladder. Nice thing about this particular tent is the ladder's removable, which is great because it won't get stolen, and also it doesn't rattle around while it's on the vehicle. So we just pin those up there. Now, if I'm right, it's gonna go like this. One in there, retract that, that's fixed, ready to slide out. I'll get the tent unzipped and we'll pull it out and have a look. So we're just going to unclip the ladder here and unzip it completely. It's pretty easy. The other thing I have to do is obviously release these little cam straps so we can actually flip the roof tent up. Now it will lock into place. Now that's going to be too long for my purposes, but it does help pull it up. So just slowly pull it out. So if you was on the roof, that would be fine, but because we've got it on the bed, we're going to lower it down. And I've actually drilled 2 new pilot holes here for the pins to drop into. There we go. Now if the ground's soft, obviously you're going to need a puck, you know, the kind of thing you use on the side stand of a motorbike on soft ground. It could be anything really, just a piece of wood just to give you some solid ground. Pick up some stones or something. You could even use a couple of empty soda cans, squash them down with your foot and put them under the base of the ladder. When I pack these up, I normally leave the mesh and the internal door open because it's easier to collapse. So we're all set there. And inside, these metal rods, now they are sprung loaded when you actually put them on a tent, so over time they do tend to bend. Just keep them straight and reshape them as you want. Just be careful of when you actually fit these, because they are under tension and they can hurt a lot if you miss the eyelet, so you want to make sure everybody's out of the way when you're doing this initially. So there's actually, in here, there's a little gap you can see to thread the bar into, and there's a hole drilled at an angle, so we make sure that's fed in enough. Give it a little wiggle to make sure it goes in as it should. There we go. Should go in about 1 inch, and this hook wants to face down and it's going to locate into this eyelet here. So making sure your face is out of the way, you just pin it like that. So there's the front piece done, and what we're going to do is inside, I'm now going to extend the arch both sides to give it a bit more of a taut finish. And you'll see now when I open these up, these just extend and then twist and lock on themselves. So let's climb in and have a look. So initially it's nice and light, it's really airy. The addition of that aperture at the top, I really like that because that gives you a little bit light, and it's waterproofed. In other words, it's like it's got a shower screen over the top of it. So you've got plenty of pockets around the tent as well inside. On the Flinders tent you also get a power inlet aperture there, which you can close if you don't want to use it, but it connects to this wire here which runs up this arm, and you get this really nice interior light. And the good thing about it is you've got a 12-volt socket on the end there, as well as you've got 2 USBs on the end. So you've got your power outlet, so when you're in the tent itself you can charge your tablets, or you can run your tablets, you can run your phone, you can charge your camera up, and you know it's secure inside the tent with you. So if you're out camping with your kids, with your family, and you do get a downpour, this is a nice space. They can sit and play, they can go on their tablets, they can do some drawing, they can do whatever they like, and it is like a really fun space to be in. Now these tents really hold their value, so if you buy one of these, if you just use it for a year or two and then you decide you want to go for something else, maybe an upgrade or a trailer tent or whatever, you're going to get a lot of your money back on these tents if you look after them, because they are really sought after. This is one of the best flip out rooftop tents that I've ever used. They've come on leaps and bounds over the last 10 to 15 years. The materials are better, they're lighter, the construction's much more rugged, and just all the little details that you get in these tents now make them so much more usable. So if you're doing a staycation this year, or you're into your camping, you're overlanding, I can thoroughly recommend this as a great product. And if we're lucky enough, we might actually get a chance to test one of the clamshell versions of these tents, just to show you the differences. Obviously there's a big price difference, but is there a performance difference? And that's something we need to look at. So signing off now. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, it's well worth doing. I'm going to be doing some really good offers. So if you want one of these tents, there's a good chance that if you're lucky enough, you might get your own discount code sent to you if you're a subscriber. That's going to be something we're going to be doing in the future that could save you a lot of money. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Enjoy your camping this year, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry it wasn't a Land Rover, but I promise next time when we get our Defender all straightened out, we'll be roof tenting it in one of those. But for now, I'll say goodbye, and we're off to our next adventure.